Welcome everyone. Today we have a new guide on focusing on the early game for the Summoner's build. We'll be looking at the potential for the Witch and also the Mercenary to use the Summon Minions as a starter setup and also how to clear the Trial of Ascension. So in this particular video, what we're watching is going to be coming from the live stream with additional Chinese content creators translations and also the insight on what are the skills you can use in the early game for the Witch and also Mercenary as a summoner. And you can see this entire playthrough actually cleared the first Trial of Ascension boss, which allows the character to gain the first 2 Ascension points and then summon the Hellhound. So if you look behind me at my notes, I have prepared a lot of different skill options and also choices for the potential of using early game skills for the Witch and also Mercenary as a summoner. And of course, even though I'm saying the Mercenary, because you guys might be playing the Jamie Legionnaire Summoner, I am focused on the Witch Summoner myself. So on the second part of the video, we'll go through some of the nodes that can give you more minion damage coming from the Witch. And this of course has a bit of pathing myself that I want to share with you guys, and what you can do potentially to get some early game access to your Summoner's build. Now, if you guys have followed my videos lately, I have looked into Auto Trigger Raging Spirit and also the Totem Summoners. And as I look at those builds and also those, skill trees, it seems like we're okay on the plans for the late game or the mid game, but we don't have any particular plan for the early game. So this video, let's focus on level 1 early game summoners and what are the supporting gems you can have for your tanky minions and also supporting gems for your offensive minions. And this is going to be the first part of focus. And of course, you can run both the Witch and also the Mercenaries using the similar setup. And now, of course, guys, the goal for this particular guide is so that you guys can clear the first Trial of Ascension, get your Ascension, and also becoming a strong summoner, as we can see in this video. Now, before we dive into this guide, a big thank you and also credits to the Chinese content creator Mi Zhimi and also my friends for sharing me this one. The content he's using is coming from the English livestream, but he has added his additional translations. So what I'll do is I have translated those and understood those, and let me give you guys a quick explanation. So as we want to start Path of Exile 2 as a summoner, there is a range of summoning spells you can pick from. And here I have tried to list all of them. Of course, you're not here to use all of them because you're limited to use one type of supporting gem over the entire character. So if I'm using the Minion Mastery on my Skeleton Arsonist, I cannot use the same supporting gem for my Skeleton Warrior. And right away, what you want to understand for the Summoner starter build is that you want to focus on one type of summoning units that will take a majority of your spirit reservation as the offensive units. And then the second category of units can be the defensive tanking unit. And this will allow you to have the best experience. I would assume that to have someone tanky, to have someone that deals a lot of damage on your minions team. So the first question we have is, what are the minions that are available in the early game? The first one is going to be Skeleton Warrior. This is going to be a level 1 skill that allows you to have Skeleton Warriors. The second one we have is Skeleton Arsonist. Those are like grenade firebomb throwing skeletons from a range, and they can deal great AoE damage and potentially good single target damage. And of course, the final potential single target damage summoning skill is going to be the Skeleton Snipers. Those are like archers that can also deal poison cloud that can help you to spread the poison and also dealing additional damage by the looks of it from the live stream. So coming over to the demonstration over here, you can see in the live stream demonstrations, the player here is using more Skeleton Snipers or Skeleton Archers together with Skeleton Warriors. And you can see the playing style is that he can directly spawn Poison Cloud using the Skeleton Snipers. But it is possible we can use Skeleton Arsonists for more AoE damage. Of course, because he's doing the Trial of Ascension and he wants to do more damage to the boss, maybe he opts for more Skeleton Snipers. But those options are up to us. We can take it and also adjust those as we go and as I explain to you guys. So now that we have targeted at least 3 possible summoning minions with 2 focus on range damage and also 1 focus on melee damage, let's have a look at the possible supporting gems you can use for those links. Of course, you don't expect to have all 6 links, and you might try different links for different minions depending on your own playstyle. So this is just a personal suggestion. So For my tanky minions, I can go with minions instability to allow them to explode on low life, and also have a mid shield to allow them to become tank for my rest of my minions and characters. We can go with Infernal Legion to deal additional flame damage, and also Last Grasp to allow the tanks to live for longer. Finally, if the tanks are dying, we can gain additional mana, and those are all valid options for your tanky minions. It can be the Skeleton Warrior, and of course you can use those for the Rise Zombies, or you can use it for the Skeleton Brood or the Skeleton Ravers over here, but those comes much later in the levels. So the level 1s are Skeleton Warriors, then Arsoners, and also the Snipers. In terms of the damaging summoning units, I recommend going with the Skeleton Arsoners unless you want great single target damage. In terms of supporting gems, any bonus damage like Fire, Lightning will do. And because I want to go with Infernalist, I opt for 5 damage bonus. And here we have Minion Mastery for more skill ranks, and Feeding Frenzy for more aggressive minions. Minion Pack, which can allow us to deal more damage, and also supporting with Volley to allow more projectiles and dealing even high damage. Now again guys, you're not expected to have all 6 of the links. You can take and pick whatever supporting gems that suits your playing style and gives you the highest damage. But ideally, you only want 1 defensive and also 1 offensive minion on the field. And once we have the day 1 launch, I will show you guys my replays and also my playing styles for the summoner. Now as we level up our summoner, there is a range of other summoning minions that becomes available, like the Ranging Spirits on level 16, and also the Skeleton Force Mage level 27, the Skeleton Brute on 33, or the Cleric on 52. So there are more options, but you can use a similar format for those tanky and also offensive units. After you have picked your summon units, the next thing is, what are some of the supporting skills you can have in early game? Pain Offering is available to us at level 21, and this can grant minion additional attack and also attack speed. We can go with vulnerabilities to weaken enemies as early as level 5. And here we can use Unearth, which is a direct casting spells that can also raise additional minions. This is also available for level 1. Now if you have a look at the replay, you can see the Necromancer demonstration over here with additional summons likely coming from Unearth. So notice there's a bunch more summon units as the Necromancer casts spells. So here I do want to mention that even though I say you go with 1 offensive permanent minion, you can spare some of the offensive supported gems and put it on Earth. And what that means is, let's say if I'm going with bonus damage, so there's actually a lot that you can also support for this particular spell. And in the early game, don't feel shy to support this one, because you can see in the demonstrations, you get a horde of minions that is not permanent, but that can deal melee damage, which are great. Now we also have the option to go with Power Offering for additional power charges. And here some of the beneficial spells we can have is going to be the Herald of the Plague and also Contagion. Both of those allows us to utilize the ability to spawn poisons and to spread debuff and also damage over time against enemies, as the skeletons do most of the work. Now keep in mind, if you want to go Herald of the Plague, it is possible guys, we go with the Skeleton Snipers and then use them to shoot the gas arrows on command. And this will give us some poison damage, which can then be spreading out. Now coming over to a second part, how would you want to path your skill passive traits and what or not you should be aware of? So I have had a look at a number of pathing of skill trees, and at the moment most of them don't have enough of the reveals. Notice that some of them just don't have anything in certain knots. So here there is a few that I was using. So let me show you guys what has been happening. So notice here that at the start of the levels, what you want to first check is on this particular path. Notice here this is not updated fully, and those are showing elemental damage. But on the other pathing board, those are showing us additional minion damage. So if on the direct pathing, right away when you start the witch class, you can see a bunch of additional minion damage. You can go all the way to take the big and also little knots. After this, what you can see is we can be pathing on the right hand side for potentially a bit of resistance and also additional energy shield, but this is optional. So what we really want to do is we want to get to the end side, which we can get more offense for the minions with more minion attack speed and also with more maximum life. Now as we keep pathing, there is a number of minion knots, as I will show you guys. Notice there's a lot, but a bunch of them are giving us minion defensiveness. We want a bit of minion offense. So here you can see I am getting a bit of minion defense, while big knots give us more minion offense and also additional minion offense. And here we can see that there is more knots on the side that will give us additional minion offense. So what I recommend for you guys is start the pathing, check on the left hand side to see if those knots are giving you minion damage. If they are, you can take a majority of those. And then come over to the right hand side to get some of those minion casting and also minion damage and also faster revives. And then we pass towards this particular section, like the paths you can see over here, and there will be a bunch of minion knots. And of course guys, you should be saving some gold in case you need to respect, but you can see there's a bunch of minion knots that is lighting up on the left hand side, and this is for the witch. You can see a majority of the minion knots are on the top, and this is what you kind of want to go. You want to go up, and then go to the right hand side, and then coming over to the left hand side. So what I'll do is I'll provide you guys with a screenshot of those potential pathing, and in the notes I'll explain to you guys, let's say if this is not working, you skip this. You don't want defense, you can skip this. And you want offense, this is the pathing you want to go for your summoner before you get the ascension. Now finally, as you get used to your minion build, you're going to notice that whether you're lacking more health and minion health, or if you want more minion survivability, or having more minion resistance. And this is when you can search for the key knots with minions on the top of your in-game search bar, and then look at what you want for your minions, whether you want more additional chaos damage, or maybe area of effect, so then you can min and max after having a brief framework of where you can go for your minions. And this is of course is a personal choice. You can see what are the best ones and then start to pick as you get higher levels. Now hopefully this guide is clear enough to help you guys to get started as a summoner starter for Path of Exile 2. And as I play the game on day 1, I will be posting my personal replays and then combining those with my commentary and also guides for you guys to learn and also go through step-by-step process of playing the summoner and what are the skills I'm using. There could be a lot of changes, even though I made other videos, there could be changes and also updates. And at the same time, once we have the correct skill trees available, I will be posting for you guys to have a look, to follow, and also to have the most fun as a summoner for Path of Exile 2. Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so, because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is going to be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.